What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Cold Blooded Conversations. Um, I'm your host, Wally, and my co-host, Johnny. Hope everybody's having a good evening. How you doing tonight, Johnny?
Oh, doing well, Wally, brother. Thank you. Just got in from a day on the town.
Heck yeah, man. Awesome. Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
Zimpius? Good good seeing you, buddy. I hope everything's doing good for you, man. Yeah, things are going pretty good for me, bud. So tonight, I know Johnny was talking the other day and stuff. He had some stuff he was researching when I had him up on the show Monday night and everything when we were talking some motocross and stuff on Speedway Stories. Um, I'm going to actually hand the floor over to him for a little while. He can explain what he's wanting to talk about animal wise and stuff tonight. So, Mr. Bongs, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, brother. Uh, well, I have been getting back into a little bit of morph research, right? Uh, as I think I mentioned a couple of streams ago, I would try with the leopard geckos, and I got as far as I did with that. But I'll be honest, Wally, brother. In the past couple of years, there is some new stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. I just seen today one of the breeders I follow on Facebook just released a new gecko that's black and white. Looks like a cow, baby cow. Instead of all black, it's actually got white and black in it. It's
Huh?
it was pretty sweet. I'll have to send you a picture of it. But
What?
so yep. If you want, Johnny, give everybody kind of the backstory where you're going with this because of I know
Wow.
a lot of people just in case new viewers pop in or whatever, Bubba. So they can
So,
kind of get an idea what you're talking about, sir.
well, I I used to breed leopard geckos along with raise them, and it is a very colorful, no pun intended, hobby.
Yeah, we know. I
Oh
know
yeah.
this firsthand.
Well, it can be very similar to, let's say, um, what is it, boas, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, boas and pythons. You have a lot of the, let's say, quote unquote designer morphs, if you will, but then you have more of the just all around rarities. And well, in my time with the ones I had,
Hmm.
they were melanistic and another common morph. But that opened me to searching around at some reptile shows and, well, looking for myself. And there, I gotta say, the ones that I got were easy enough. I cannot believe how pricey some of these designer, once again, if you will, morphs go for.
Yes, sir. They are not cheap, especially if they're a world's first design or second or third generation design, because a lot of people's put a lot of time into them. So,
Yes, sir. Uh, that's another thing I've been researching is just how long it takes to exactly pinpoint those genes.
yeah, I know one of the ball python breeders, Justin Kavolka over at Canova. He's been working on a couple genes that it's been almost his 20-year career that he's been working to break through to get what he's produced through multiple trials and errors. That's just on the ball python side. Your side, it really can get in depth. I mean, it gets in depth, like you said, when you want to create something either more colorful or a mixture of dark and light, or you just go the dark gene like a Mexican black snake. I mean, they're
Yes, sir.
they're everywhere out there. So
It, I don't know. It baffles my mind the more, almost by the day, that people are coming up with.
oh yeah, it's pretty cool. especially on the leopard gecko side. They're really, really, really getting in depth. They have from your what we call our normals,
Yeah.
basically with a little bit of blue and kind of a palish looking and dark colors, um, all the
Mm,
way up to your which one is it? One of them's a citrus, like in a bearded dragon, really bright
nope.
orange. I mean, bright orange. And one of my favorites that they just kind of uncovered within the last 5 years is it's called the Dark Knight, which is an all black leopard gecko.
Oh shit.
I mean, this thing is as black as your jacket, buddy.
They
So,
they used to have one. I mean, it used to, but I found out about it a while ago, where it was kind of like that. It was called an eclipse, and it had the black all over it, but it had some speckles of white dots, and it maybe, or even more of a rarity, sometimes had an orange spot, just one orange spot on it.
right. Yep. There. Well, and that's the thing is where um it Xemphius, it's not even the spotted. They say under the black light you can actually see the forms
Yeah.
of the spots and everything. I've never seen somebody personally do the black light on them where it shows the outlines of the spots. Um, but yeah, man, that Dark Knight gene. There's a lot of people. They're passing it along. I've been following a lot of guys, some big name people. Actually, I'm wearing one of the hoodies of Mr. Brian Barczyk. God rest his
Nice.
soul. This is his Brian's Army Redline Shipping. Shout out to them. Love to have you
Nice.
sponsor the show and stuff. But I got it because he passed away from colon cancer and stuff.
Heard
Uh,
about that.
but he's one of my big idols, and he was one of the ones that was working with a lot of dark genes, not only in geckos, crested leopard geckos, and crested geckos, but he was trying to make a dark gene in the ball python game and a few of the other snakes that he's done. There's a lot of people out there that are they're playing on the dark side of the genes. They're instead of the real colorful genes nowadays, man. Especially in your like
Oh
you
yeah.
said in the line.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Zemphius, they do show up in a hotel sheet. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, you may continue on with what you've been able to find and stuff. So,
uh,
like I said, floor's yours, man. So,
see, as somebody who, let's say, is still, of course, in his 20s, a lot of people would, of course, consider that still young in the game, and I appreciate that because it means I have all this time to continue to find out some of the things that, yeah, sure, I've already gone a little bit farther in the journey of it, but there's a good couple of decades to add on to that, hopefully.
oh yeah, man, you're getting started out, but with you already jumping in the game at a young age, and two, like we've talked here recently before. Yes, Zemphius, he is a mere pup. He's still a little wet behind the ears, bud.
Uh, oh, I am.
uh, but yeah, you're back. I mean, you're getting into the game, back into the game. Like you told me, I kind of reopened your passion with becoming part of the network and stuff. And
Yes,
uh,
sir.
but but yeah, I mean, it's there. Spread the knowledge. You're willing to do you're willing to put the time in, do the research, let alone with your tattooing and stuff, your artwork for that on your channel.
Thank
But
you.
you're putting the time in. So, but yeah, as we were. What else
Um,
did you happen to find more information on the different style? Let alone, did you look in specifics like just the gecko side of it, or did you get a little more in depth on different reptiles?
so I got the most out of it with the leopard geckos. I went a little bit with cresties. Um, and of course, what really gave me the knowledge of morphs themselves is I started to look up with it before I even had leopard geckos. I started to look up with it with pythons.
Yeah, I mean, the field's huge. I mean, but yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these people is been fortunate. They've been putting 10+ years on getting morphs on specifics that they specialize in. I mean, you got the oh yeah, Zemphius. Everybody else is kind of quiet on here, buddy, in the chatters box, but you. But no, yeah, they're like I said with Canova and the ball python game. The dude's got over 20 years just on record for his um, breeding that he does, and I mean this man has a ginormous array of different breeds of ball pythons and everything else and stuff that he has for for the genes and everything that he's done. And I mean, there's multiple genes. It's not just like one or two genes. There's three, four, five different genes that they do. So
Nice. See, my dream originally from those two, I wanted to, of course, have like the bin rack set up. I really wanted to get into the whole morph knowledge to begin with. I'm still hoping that is set in stone for me somewhere in life.
yeah, you'll get there, buddy. Trust me, it'll happen. Um, but yeah, the leopard gecko things. I mean, hell, they've got them where they're. Oh my god. they they got them where they got the white. They look like Dalmatians, just like in the Cresties. I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
them. So, what else did you find on the leopard gecko side besides what we've kind of touched up on a little bit?
Well, um, it's taking me a little bit to gather knowledge on that one. Right now, I'm focusing around or trying to get my knowledge back from when I was trying to work with morphs. I will say one of the things that I found out early on, even with my care of them, is sand. Sand is a bad idea. Uh, I wanted them to have a substrate to lay their eggs in, but I had a really good size, really big male. Um, he had like some sunburst orange in him. I loved him. I was gonna use him, primary with his genes, but a sad case with him. He ended up eating some of the sand, and it didn't go very well for him.
What ended up happening?
So he ate some of the sand. It, of course, had impaction. His whole throat swelled. And then this might have been a double case because something else happened to him where the top of his eyes, dude, his whole head like swelled.
Hmm, that's weird.
Yeah. I took him somewhere, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And really altogether that I'm really fucking sad to say it was his end of the road.
Sounds like besides getting the impaction, sounded like because of that, he sounded like he got a real bad infection or something. I know you and me have talked about this, but like I said, I'm letting you have the floor for a little while tonight to explain your experiences with your reptiles and stuff. So,
Uh, one biggie that I learned is the sand was a fucking no-no. From then on, I used reptile carpet, the like the green carpet stuff. Love it.
mm-hmm.
I love it, man.
I actually have that in one of my Beardy's cages because it came with it. The
Uh,
only part I hate about cleaning it is the cleaning part because I it still can hold bacteria,
yeah,
everything else. I mean, if you're not careful,
yes,
so it's that's. I mean, there's pluses and negatives to it. Um,
So
so I
uh,
mean,
for that
it's what it is.
was kind of one of the priciest on my end when if you react to the price every couple of days, because I made sure to, for that very reason, keep a fresh one on hand. And like I said, I would go there into Country Max and buy stock of the things and just change them out every couple of days. Make sure that for that very reason you just said, make sure they always had a fresh one in every like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, you got to stay on top of it. And I mean, I've got it rolls and stuff. I got to get some more here. I'm about out of it for mine because it's about due for the weekly change again and everything else. Why I wash the others, but I usually get like 2 uses. Try to get 2 uses out of them, but normally here lately I've just been getting it to where I use it one time and then I'll wash it and I'll keep it for some, just use it for something else or just keep it as backup because like you said that can be a bed for bacteria for everything on it,
Yeah.
and cause some more major issues than what you want.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a trade off. You either get impacted with the sand or you have to constantly get new reptile carpet.
Yes sir, that's just like with the ball pythons, keeping up on the cocoa husk and everything else, doing the
Yep.
proper bedding and making sure the humidity stays where it needs. I mean, everything's got its own things where it's got its certain uh, perks and negative ends to keeping. Um, they're just it's a little more. You put a little more work into keeping everything cleaned up and stuff, so you don't end up in the vet or
For sure.
with big vet bills and everything.
For sure. But little side note, one of the things that actually helped my uncle with growing up was we would design terrariums. So we would buy stock in all of these supplies, and then we would make sure that there was a somewhat simulated ecosystem through the whole thing with whatever supplies we were putting in it.
Oh yeah, and that's becoming more and more in the hobby. I've noticed a lot of people are going with their bioactive setups, or they're
Yes.
making it kind of more realistic. Like with my leopard gecko, I have for his flooring, um, crushed walnut. It's a
I
and everything else, and but I feed him. I got a for the crickets and stuff and mealworms. I've got a dish where they can't get out of it and everything. I feed them that way usually, but I have not had in the last 5 years. I haven't had any problems with the impaction. Simple clean out, to do, and then once a month, switch it all out for new because you can. I mean, I can get a big like 10-pound bag of the stuff, and it don't take much for it, but every now and then just go through spot clean with a sifter and stuff to get all the stuff out of there for a while, and then within a month and a half do a complete changeover.
I
Zemphius,
yeah.
you're fucking crazy, dude. I can tell you missed us. How many was it then, Zemphius? Was it all yours? But no, I mean that's the thing. uh, you see more and more of it. Like me and you've talked on the last couple shows that we were on, where the
For sure.
irresponsibility of everything. So
Um, Sorry if the past couple times I've darted the awareness of things, but it really some of the shit that really pokes into my mind, you know.
oh yeah. Hey, what's up, Belt Loop? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Belt Loop.
But yeah,
Yes,
yeah, they did just the morphs. I mean, we'll get back to that.
yes,
Leopard
sir.
geckos, like you were talking. There's your normals. There's your super oranges. Um, hell, there's even they got a breed that's the raptor breed, which is a large kind of a mixture. It's a larger style leopard gecko I've seen that they have different colors,
Oh,
and
I've only heard a
they're
little bit about
huge.
that one.
Yeah. Um, but they have there's that they've got what they call a snow leopard, which is white and basically looks like a leopard with black dots and the light blue over its eyelids and stuff. So
Ooh.
I mean, it's pretty sweet. They, like I said, the genes on the leopard gecko side is people. They've been around more in the pet trade and everything else, like beardies and stuff. So people's had longer times to work on that stuff to do different genes and everything. So, um,
Oh, see, I just looked up the raptor morph that you were just talking about. Beautiful.
oh yeah, but yeah, they. I mean, it's just amazing the how far in the hobby things have come from your
Oh, for
common,
sure.
from like you said, your leopards, your beardies, your ball pythons. Hell, now they're getting in with the different breeds of the boas, retics, berms. So, and there's actually a page I follow on Facebook. They're actually crossbreeding. It's hybrids between Burmese and ball pythons, tree pythons with carpet pythons. They're making hybrids. It's like they're mixing these genes. So,
Whoa.
thanks for stopping in, Belt Loop. Hope you have a good evening at work, man. We'll catch you guys later. Catch you later on, buddy.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's one guy that he does the berms and ball python mixture. It's just like holy shit. It's
Ooh.
got the patterns of a berm, but it stays the length a little bit bigger than a ball python.
Uh, I see some pictures of it here. Beautiful animal.
Yeah, they're just like in nature with the gaboon viper and the rhino viper. They naturally cross to be called a gambino, which
That
those things are gorgeous for being a venomous snake.
they are.
So now too, they have one of the guys I follow. They have albino gaboon vipers.
Whoa.
They are very rare, and they just started breaking the surface with them. And there's only 6 pair in the
Oh,
United States, and 2 of the YouTube guys I follow actually has a pair of each. That is
oh
over here.
my
It's
god.
originally came from overseas. One of the breeders overseas um, created it. They're gorgeous.
That black, the bars of the black is kind of replaced for like this pale orange, while the in
Hmm.
between of that's replaced for like a pink. Beautiful animal.
Looks like a creamsicle.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. We could be here all night with the more stuff, man. I mean, because there's
Oh
so
man.
many so many things. It's like corn snakes, most common, another one of the most common pets in the trade. There's so many different colors and morphs of those now than there was before,
Oh yeah.
and now there's scaleless too, which was started in the corn snake field. You get them without scales; all they got's their belly scales.
Whoa.
Looks like a Zemphius head. No, and then they got him into. Somebody's happened to do it with the ball pythons too. So I mean, they're harder to upkeep the for the ball python side because you change the game of your keeping and everything else. You don't keep the humidity nearly as high as you do for like a normal scaled ball python and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're I forgot what it's called, but what they lack in their pigment to make them albino also makes them sensitive to light. Is that correct?
On certain animals, yes, especially
Gotcha.
in the mammal gene. There's a lot of them that are very sensitive to the lights.
Gotcha.
Yes, Zephyr, I am a smartass, so I had to get you on that one. But
Get that
yeah, I mean,
knowledge, man.
but yeah, the um albinism in mammals is um more difficult than what it is. They different things are for them compared to the reptile community. Um, it's envious. Jeez.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, it's just they're mammals are more sensitive to the lights, the heat, uh, just different things compared to the reptile side. You just
Yeah.
kind of on some of it. What I've learned is you step down your normal keeping a little bit, and you got to make sure things on the inside of the keeping, like your habitat and everything else, you step up more on it than you do anything else because the skin's easier to split with no scales, or especially when they're scaleless stuff. The albinos you got to watch. They're notorious for in this, especially the ball python genes, like the spider gene. They can have mutation issues. It just depends on what you're dealing with on a lot of that stuff. So
Whoa. I, I'm seeing a little bit on the scaleless stuff. I never knew that that even existed. That's
it
crazy
or-
looking.
it originated. Brian Barczyk's actually one of the very first ones to do it with a corn snake. Well, a rat snake, which is still part of the corn snake family. Um, to actually
Yeah.
do the scaleless snakes, and then it became a thing with breeders in the ball python hobby. They started getting them that way too. So
That is so weird seeing a snake without its scales.
yeah, but what's funny is on the bottom of them, their ventricle scales and stuff, their bottom scales,
Yeah.
they still got small scales. They're not their full length belly scales, but they
Huh.
still have scales that protects their underside. But the top of them and stuff, yeah, has no scales, and it's harder for them to shed too. So there's
Oh.
special keeping where you got to do your moss boxes with moisture and everything, like the hide boxes for them and shit, and keep it
Yeah.
that way. So it makes it
Well,
a little more challenging when you have that style of animal.
see, once again, because you said scaleless there, uh, compare it to the whole gecko thing. Because when I used to help my leopards shed, it was only if one of them was really having a hard time. And once again, another thing the male kind of had problems with. Damp Q-tip.
Yep,
It did worked wonders.
get it just hey, yeah, moist, as Zyphia said, moist.
Yeah, moist
Yes,
is effective.
and that's the thing. Perfect for removing eye caps, especially on the snakes.
Yeah.
It don't matter the kind you have or anything. If they got them, use that to remove the stuck shed and everything. But it's cool with the back to the leopard geckos. What I think's neat is it's not very often you find leopard geckos sheds because they actually eat their sheds
Yep.
because it's a good nutrient for them and everything else. I found a shed once in the 5 years that I've had my leopard gecko, and that's because I caught him shedding in time. He was just finishing shedding and everything. Other than that, you never knew.
The same here for mine. Unless I helped the one that had a hard time with it, the other one, same with the other one. You never saw them shed.
Yeah, Zemphius, you're part of the group too, buddy. You make me moist too, bud. Sorry. Not only Johnny, just you too, bud. But yeah, I mean and I mean that's the cool part because the Cresties, it must just be something in the gecko family. Lychees, Cresties, the leopard geckos, Chihuahuas, anything in the Caledonia family, you very rarely see them find shed anywhere because they eat it.
The what once again, my only ever experience with it was because my male leopard needed help. Other than that, You're right. I never saw the female shed. It just kind of, I woke up one day and she was brighter colors and skin was gone.
Oh, those blizzard leopard geckos are gorgeous. Those
Oh,
are very gorgeous geckos. We love you too, Zemphius, man. You're awesome, dude. I'm glad you finally got to catch my show for a change.
hell
Been
yes. I
missing you,
fucking
dude.
love you,
So,
fam.
but yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Um, I mean, hell, we could do shows on breaking down all the different morphs in the whole reptile community. Uh, I could pull up information all day long. I know you can too,
Yeah.
um, because it's just amazing with the way they're done. But like you were saying too, you do have your issues because of the breeding.
Yes.
Yes, shaman, reptilian, sir. Yes, we're talking about reptiles, bud. Thanks for jumping in, shaman. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, there's a lot of issues you gotta watch because the bloodline gets so saturated in your collection.
Yeah.
uh, there's actually one my buddy Wes Devire that's in here, man. He's one of my rough truck dudes, Zemphius. He's local to me and everything else. We hang out at the rough truck event. So you got somebody in here that likes racing. He likes dirt track racing too, so you're good. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why they stress, especially in the ball python game, to try to keep changing out your bloodline after so long, so you don't have to deal with the interbreeding like you do an Alabama fan or anything like that, or somebody from
Yeah.
down south. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah.
I just as a joke for that. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those. It's one of those deals you got to keep, like they said, keep that brush
Yeah.
bloodline fresh.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, I've seen since I've been in the hobby and everything else for a long time, and just recently too, more and more the greed side of the business. A lot of these what they call some of these hobby breeders out here, they think they're going to get rich off of them. They don't realize all these big name breeders that are real popular to do um, all the hard work, all the years that they put
Yeah.
into and everything. Oh yeah, I've actually looked into that. There's actually some on his Barchek's website right now. They're selling that he has. Um, but yeah, there's so many people out there that neglect this hobby that it's making it harder for the younger generation to hate the hobby
Yes.
because they're asking questions like most people want them to, and
Yeah.
people are shunning them for it. I've ran into a couple groups that I'm in where I've seen new beginners ask certain questions, which is common to most of us that's been in a hobby, and they
Mm.
get belittled like they're dumber than a box of rocks when they're trying to educate themselves, and that's what we're here to teach. Um,
Well, the thing I was just gonna say, Wally, how would somebody else that would have given them that knowledge, how would they have learned it unless they would have asked some questions at one point or a time?
Right, but I mean, and that's the thing. That's where it's getting harder and harder. We're losing this battle.
Yeah.
Let alone educating the younger generation, including ourselves. I mean, I'm learning new stuff every day that you don't know, you never knew. I mean, there's always something new in the reptile hobby
Right.
um, that you learn new to make your husbandry, the housing, your upkeep can make it better. Um,
Yeah.
Different things like that that works that'll help you. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those deals. I see it every day on the Facebook things. Retix is definitely a big game, man, Wes. That
Mhm.
especially here in Ohio. Once it hits 6 foot, You gotta jump. You gotta jump through hoops to get special permits. I've looked into it. You gotta have a minimum of at least $1 million insurance policy.
Yup.
So I mean, it makes it harder to. Exactly, shaman man. That is the truth. It is. Knowledge is lost when you don't get to pass along. That is right. And that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's just one of those. Nice. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I seen where that Flow Racing and stuff bought the Lucas Oil late model series, man. I hope they do good with it, but we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll talk about that on Monday night, man. If you get a chance to come in. Plus, but yeah, it's just one of those deals, like Shaman said, and we've been talking. If you can't pass it on what you know, the hobby's gonna die.
Well, it, it's a double-sided coin there. One side is,
It
yes, the hobby's going to die. The other side is, how many people are still holding on to that genuine knowledge anymore?
right. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, it's and then also, let alone passing knowledge on, you got people that don't understand. They fear what they don't understand, like our. I hate getting into the politics side, but because this deals with my hobby, one of my
Yeah.
hobbies, just like in motorsports,
Yeah.
they stick their nose in trying to delete the hobby because they fear the snakes. They fear, and it's all because of irresponsible people that aren't educated properly on the animals that they're trying to keep. Oh, look, there's a
Yeah.
cute little cute albino Burmese python. It's only like 3 foot long. Then 5 years down the road, the motherfucker's 12 foot long, and I can't keep it and afford to keep it. So we're gonna turn the bitch loose in Florida, or turn it loose in the wild or whatever. So it makes the laws they start making it where you can't keep these animals, and if you keep them, you go to jail, you get fined, they kill your animals off,
Well,
and that's even good. That's good keepers.
well, see, no doubt you know this, brother, but for anybody that doesn't, you go introducing something like that into a biosphere that it's not used to habitatizing, it's going to fuck the whole ecosystem.
That's the reason they got the issues with the berms down there in Florida, is because of that hurricane and irresponsible people. I mean, it's just one of those deals.
Yeah. You want to
Yep,
talk about culture
invasive.
shock?
Yep, all your invasive stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's why the iguanas population's huge in Florida, the Burmese, the tokay geckos. Everything is because of a lot of most of it's a lot of irresponsible assholes that did not educate themselves on the animals that they were getting, and they figured they're down there. Here, we're going to take them and be done with them. They don't
Well,
realize they don't do their homework.
let's say they didn't have a true passion for it either. Because if you really have a true passion for the life that you're caring for, you're not gonna abuse it by doing that.
Right. Yeah, well, I know
It's
I've seen
sad,
the
man.
pictures. I've seen pictures of the big dogs you got, and of course, yes, a lot of horsepower.
Nice.
Hey, James is on here from your channel, bud.
James, good to see you, brother.
He's asking for the link.
Huh?
Yeah, this one we don't drop down in on this one. So, but yeah, um it's just, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, that's any animals or anything else. It's mine, James. My live on my podcast on the network, on the Nonsensical Network, buddy. He shared it out over on his channel so everybody could see it on his too. Um, but yeah, it's the animals in general, man. And the sad part is humans are the same way, but we'll leave that for another thing. So, um, but yeah, the animal side of it. I mean, prime example, COVID. Every dog
Yeah.
shelter I knew of here in Ohio, they, you know, adopted animals from them and everything else. And as soon as COVID was over and everything went back, the damn dogs that were adopted and everything else was either turned loose on the streets or they're right back in the fucking shelter again.
Yeah.
Because people were they were bored because they couldn't get out and about or do all this other dumb shit. So they get animals, and then after it's all said and done, so
Now, sadly, the awareness isn't hitting people, and sadly, because of that, it's only continuing a process.
right, and it's always gonna be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
It don't matter you're responsible or not.
Yeah.
You can be the most responsible person in the world keeping animals and everything else, and you're gonna have that one or two fucking Karens to
Oh yeah. Well,
so I mean and it makes it hard.
it,
That's why for the reptile keepers, they have what the US ARC, big advocates for the actual responsible reptile keepers. They go to battle for us in the hobby because lawmakers are trying to make laws that they have. Um, so it's one of those deals that they have and everything else. So
well, see, it's one of those standards where, for the percentage that mucks up on it, you're messing it up for those that actually care about their passion and do it well.
and it's getting harder. Back to what Shaman said, it's if you can't pass the knowledge on,
Yeah.
uh, how's it supposed to carry on? But yeah, like the retics here in Ohio, there's because of the what they call the Zanesville massacre that happened. Guy and everything else got in some trouble with big cats and everything. The laws used to be very lenient in Ohio up until that, and now it's got to where you can only keep certain things like the certain snakes. They get so big, like I said, like your anacondas, your ticks. Once they hit over 6 foot, you have to report them. And the insurance liability. You used to be able to keep venomous without permits in Ohio. Now you got for each up to three of your venomous snakes. So but yeah, it's one of those deals. You got to have almost a $500,000 in liability insurance and everything else, and you got to get with the farm and Ohio Wildlife Bureau if you want to keep venomous here in Ohio and stuff, even the big snakes. So
Hmm. Uh, let's just say I've played paid as close attention as I can whenever I've seen like the handling videos and people working with them. And as much discipline as it takes for you to be right, almost reading the snake's mind, if you will,
oh
to
yeah,
make sure nobody gets hurt. Uh,
right,
I can understand that.
yep. So, but yeah, I mean, I like in Florida, well, you keep venomous. You got to have 1,000 hours for each gene of venomous, like your lapids, which is your cobras, everything else. You have to have 1,000 hours for that with a licensed keeper. I mean, I get it. It's not. I mean, some of these guys I watch and follow that keep these animals, they put the time in, everything else, and a lot of people don't want to mentor newer people into the field because they think they're just doing it for thrill, uh, likes and everything else. Some of these people they won't. They're just getting into it just to say they did it instead of actually educating the people on the animals and stuff. So
That's what I was saying in the beginning. This, above anything you could ever do that with, this is one of those things where it's not good. It's not good, brother. To approach this type of situation like that is the pinnacle of your responsibility.
yep. Oh yeah, with what you keep in your wolves and stuff, Zephyus, yes, you gotta. I mean, I get it. That's kind of like the regulations I have here in my state. They got down in Florida, with what they're keeping and stuff. But they have an
Oh,
invasive list. If you're not a zoo style facility in Florida, you can't keep any of the invasive animals. South Carolina's got it where they outlawed tegus. You cannot keep them because people's ruined that. They've taken over. Um, just different things. Plus, wherever you live, if they allow it, certain counties, certain townships, they have rules and regulations for what you can keep and everything else. Yeah, those sand snakes, James, they're neat. Yeah, you just don't see them very often.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Right. Yeah, they're the ground boas and stuff. They're pretty
Interesting
cool.
creatures, though.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those deals that because idiots in the hobby has ruined it for people. I mean,
Yeah,
that's why there's these laws
yeah.
some of the laws are kind of ridiculous that they've done because they're uneducated on it. So, I mean, it makes it harder.
Yeah, I get trying to regulate something, but when you go to regulate something from the standpoint of not even knowing what you're regulating with the proper education to doing so, then it's not going to fix a problem.
Right.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just let alone you got to like you were saying, you got to regulate with inside the community, but you can only regulate so much because you have those assholes which we call on the black market, like black market stuff. So, um
right.
I don't have a panel link, James. Sorry, buddy. I didn't set one up for tonight. I should have. But yeah, they just it ruins it, and like any law, people are going to still break them and everything else. Oh my God, Zimpius, you're crazy. But yeah, they just eh, I mean, and there's some places they don't even allow people to keep ball pythons.
Wow.
Ball pythons, corn snakes, or nothing like that. It's
Wow.
it's just the different areas, like I said, people live in. They keep they keep it up and everything else. So next Thursday, James, if you tune in and everything else, man, I'll set a link up and I'll have you come up here with me and Johnny, and I'll have you up on the panel with me, buddy. Um, we just try to stay on topic too when we're up here. So I know
Yeah.
I've been on Johnny's panel with you, dude. You're a good dude. So next Thursday, tune in and I'll get you up here with us. So, but yeah, but yeah, it's just one of those deals. It just sucks because it's years and years and years of it going on. But also at the same time, two of the best keepers I know and I follow is actually one of the. He was into the black market of bringing a lot of these reptiles that are here in our hobby now. He was bringing them in on the black market. Now he did his time, everything else, and now he's a well-known educator and everything else, and that's Tom Crutchfield. I mean, that dude,
Nice.
he brought a lot of the venomous snakes, the certain lizards and stuff into our hobby that wasn't over here in the United States at the time before they started regulating in the different countries of bringing these animals over. He
Yeah.
used to bring them in. And I look up to him more than anything.
Yeah.
James got you on this one. Pant snake. He's
Ha!
fucking with you.
Ha! Ha! And what do you say, James? They come in handy.
But yeah, but yeah, I mean he learned his lesson and he's now advocating for the hobby, just like Kevin McCurley from Nerd. Brian Barchek was big. Yes, some of his keeping habits back in the day and everything else wasn't the greatest. I mean, he was hated for the way he was, but he changed his ways to make the positive. So I mean, some of these big name people educated themselves and
Bingo.
put their time and paid their dues, as they say, to make the hobby better for people like you and me that want to
Yes.
uh, be part of it and grow the hobby. So
In the end, I see that as some form of redemption in the love for what you do.
Zemphius, Johnny loves it all, man. He don't not only the one-eyed snake and the brown trouser. If Haas was
Oh,
in the comments,
how you
Johnny's.
doing? How you doing? Oh,
but
sometimes.
yeah, but yeah, it's back to the main thing of the whole ordeal, the hobby. It's the education part.
Yeah.
It's just, and
Yeah.
honestly, one of the most uneducated uh, things out there that people think are very educational is the zoos.
Yeah.
On a lot of the stuff, zoos are honestly they're educated to what they're allowed to be educated because of what they're told. They're regulated to their education. They don't go in depth as much as they should, like a lot
Well,
of us in the hobby do.
my thing is, Wally, and I know this scenario could happen to anybody, but and it has happened before. Like let's say a natural disaster, God forbid, hits, and
Right.
then you have all of those specimens. They escape.
Florida's ordeal breeding facility. One of the largest breeding facilities is what caused the issue besides irresponsible people. Hurricane.
Uh, see, because that's where I see a fine line. Is like people that, of course, know their trade and they know what they're dealing with. But then again, you have something like that come along, and whether you know what you're doing or not, it's still gonna muck up all of your supply, all of your everything.
Oh yeah. Yep. And it did just that. I mean it happened. And yes, James, I have been watching that Welcome to Dairy. It's actually pretty fucking good.
It is.
um yeah, tune in Friday night on that. Maybe Michael on movie night and stuff. He talks TV shows here on our network. Maybe we
Uh,
can get him to talk about that because he likes horror movies. But yeah, I mean, yeah, natural causes from Mother Nature. Sometimes you can't prepare for it. You can prepare as best as you can, but there's still going to be, like you said, that little crack that opens a big
yeah,
door.
so that right there, I've seen some of the best breeders and cultivators, if you will, um, because of a natural disaster. Um, the ecosystem of where they live is all of a sudden mucked because things got out. Things are now roaming around.
Oh yeah. Well, and with the berms, they actually they can have up to 100. A female can lay up to 100 eggs.
Dude, those creatures are made to breed to thrive.
Only you, Zemphius. Yes, natural disasters. Yeah, that's the only way it happens, buddy. You are something else tonight, man. As always. I love having you in the comments, dude.
Like,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's the big thing they got to deal with anywhere. If you got tornadoes, you got hurricanes, um, how even improper electrical hookups, everything that can take the wattage for these heat lamps or heat mats and stuff. I've seen where facilities is caught on fire because of electrical shit going on, and they've lost everything because of some little mishap with stuff like that. So it's just one of those deals that it happens.
It's understandable. You have that much wiring, let's say, controlling heat, ecosystem, things like that.
But yeah, it's hard to see that and everything else. They'll get it to where they have it properly. I mean, they've got your surge protectors for your plugs and stuff where it's overloaded. Um, but it just at the same time, you can only do so much.
Yes.
So I mean, That's the thing about the whole ordeal, is it just you basically got to have, especially if you're a big time breeder, um, your electrical set up properly. You got to have your panels, your fuse panels set up properly. Even then, you can still have an issue, something shorting out or whatever, and causing problems. So,
So that right there, let's say mass collectors that have like more than a couple hundred bins, even in the thousands, that they're keeping track of. All that wiring to the heating and to lighting and all of that, whatever central panel or multiple that might be going to, must have a lot of surge strength.
oh yeah. Well, like for the ball python game, they have your controllers and everything else for your rack systems and everything that you can control, your settings.
Hmm.
Actually, James, on mine, I three of the snakes I have are frozen, and one of them I have to do live. So, yeah, you're funny, Zemphius. You're such a douchebag, dude.
Hmm.
Leave it to you, man. But yeah, they
Oh
uh,
God.
they can if you don't watch them. Mine is right now one of the he's just picky. I've tried the frozen thawed multiple times with him, and he's just it's just one of those things that I have to, when it comes feeding time, I got to feed him alive all the time. So, but yeah, my
See,
other three are tongue fed, or I hold at the end of the tail. I've been bit a couple of times by them before where they've missed and got my hand. But yeah, no, my other three that I have, I can feed frozen thawed. So, but yeah, you just don't, when you feed live, you just stay right there and watch and keep an eye on them so something doesn't happen. But yes, it can happen. There is people that just, oh, I'm going to throw a live in with my snake and stuff and wait until tomorrow if you don't eat it right then and there, and then they come back and they wonder why their snakes got chunks chewed out of them. So, um, three out of the
hmm,
four snakes I feed once every 3 to 4 weeks. Um, and my littlest one is twice a month. So that's how often I feed mine, because I have three adults and then I have one that's he's only 2 years old now, and he's still on the twice a month schedule. So here soon he'll be getting cut back to the once every 3 weeks, and then I wait up to 72 hours before handle them and everything else. Gives them time to digest it and everything else. So we don't mess with them for 3 days after we feed them. Just just mist the cages down and fill the water dishes and spot cleans. So
see,
then
I
you
don't.
then then you got the beardies you feed regularly. Him, the iguanas, uh, my iguana I have, my leopard gecko, and my tokay. It's a daily feeding and daily cleaning. So
Did you ever experience a problem, Wally, where you tried to feed them, or I don't, of course, know that your method for feeding them. If you like set the food in there, and let's say a cap or something in what their food, like the grubs or whatever such, would actually bite them, would bite your lizards.
I've actually had it where once with one of the yeah, I'll tell you tomorrow. Not the grub worms, it's the other ones. The
Waxworms.
yes, not the wax worms. It's the bluish ones. I can't remember the name of them right at the moment.
I know what
I
you're
know,
talking about, though.
but I did have that incident once with one of my beardies. It actually got itself halfway on and stuck itself and started biting at the tip of his of his nose and
Yeah.
everything else, and scarred. And he's got a small scar, but it's gone now from shedding and everything else. So
Yeah. I used to have to be really careful with those, like literally feed on contact. not let the thing crawl around like a dish lid or nothing like that. Because every time I would even put it inside of a dish lid, uh, yeah, my geckos got ate up. They got bit up pretty bad. So I used to always have to use it.
Yeah, I haven't had issues with other than doing. Oh, it's the hornworms. That's what they are. They're the
Yup.
hornworms. Like with mealworms and stuff like that, and and Dubai roaches. I haven't had an issue, but that's the only time ever with a hornworm that I've put it in a dish and let it go. Now I make sure I tongue feed when I do the hornworms,
Yeah.
so I don't have that issue. But mealworms and stuff like that, I put it in that escape dish form, and that explains why Zemphius is the way he is tonight. He got into the bottle.
Oh shit.
He's chilling tonight and enjoying himself. That's the Zemphius I know. But yeah, that's what I use for them, and everything else is on when I feed them. Now my Tokay, he's kind of a mixture of your insects, and I feed him every now and then a pinky mouse, frozen, unthawed frozen pinky for his to get his protein and the meat and everything else for them, because they do eat other lizards and stuff in the wild. So
Oh
I'll
yeah.
occasionally give him a pinky mouse, but normally it's crickets and mealworms for him and stuff. So
See that Wally, I'll be honest, I almost got a Tokay, but then I backed off when I learned how let's say how ornery they can be.
needless to say, I don't really handle him. That's pretty much my wife's lizard. She a lot of hard work with gloves and everything else, biting the gloves and everything, and now she can get him out barehanded and stuff, and he's pretty well handleable. So,
Nice. Just took a little bit.
yep. Oh,
I can
that's I
respect
mean
that.
that's what any of them. I mean, it don't matter what it is. You gotta work with them.
Well,
That and I, that and I just got a message from one of the guys I used to work with. I actually got to meet up with him sometime tomorrow. I'm getting another bearded dragon.
nice.
So
Man, I love beauties. Nice.
so yeah, he just asked me if I'd be interested in it with everything. So, but yeah, so the collection's getting bigger and everything else. Oh, your sister's dog's coming to see you.
Be nice. Stop it. Dead
But yeah,
goofy.
so yeah, I mean that's you gotta anything you gotta watch, you gotta work with them. Um, it's like the younger snake I got and everything else. I gotta work with him more because he's very striky, likes to strike defensively.
Mhm.
Um, they're not aggressive. Any of the animals are not aggressive. It's just a defense mechanism, and sometimes depending on the animal, those defense mechanisms can get you stitches and staples or lose fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, there was one such case I saw where the dude had a constrictor, and it had some sort of feeding response and latched onto the dude's arm and then just immediately started to
Oh
coil
yeah.
onto his arm while it was
Well,
bit into him.
Well, that's like the lady that they had. There's a video going around on her Burmese python. She knew that it was feeding day, everything else, and she
Yeah.
went viral for fucking with the snake on feeding day with no feed or anything else, and it got a hold of her and shit and everything else because she was being irresponsible. So, but yeah, it's just any animal. I mean, like with puppies, it don't matter. Um, reptiles are more time consuming to get them to be where they're handleable, friendly, and it's slow times with them to make them trust
Mm.
you. It's a trust thing.
Yes. It's a very specific way their instincts work.
Oh, especially when you're in the lizard community with monitors, tegus.
Oh yeah.
Uh, they're very intelligent animals. Um, when they're young, they're so used to they're in defense mode no matter what. I mean, they're gonna bite, they're gonna tail whip, they're gonna claw the fuck out of you. That's
Oh,
where you have to not force the situation to trust. You take your times. Yes, it sucks, but I learned with when I had my Tegu when he was alive before he passed away from whatever he had. Um, my wife working with him, sticking her hand down in where he sensed your hand
yeah,
every other day. Um, Gloves, picking them up, letting them run on the floor and shit, and
yeah.
just working with them, letting them move in your hands. But you got to be able to do that on a daily basis. And it's as a Linus, one of the, like I said, my idol, Tom Crutchfield and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
The keep, the keep, the kept and the keeper become one with when there's trust built up between them. And
Yeah.
they keep Croc monitors, dude. The second largest monitor on the planet behind a Komodo dragon.
Oh man.
So,
Oh man.
so I mean, he's had it where he's had chunks, him and his wife, from being bit and everything else. It's not the animal's fault. It's the people because they're either rushing the situation and not taking the time to earn that animal's trust. It's
Mm.
all try on error. It's a patience game. Is basically what it is.
See, it's that point of humility where, let's say, we stop blaming nature for what it's intended to do, if you will.
It's one of those things like we talked when I first had you up here when we did the animal movies.
Yeah.
Movies like Anaconda, man, Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's just the news and Hollywood and other people, their fears and stuff. It's all taught. It's not
Yeah.
self inflicted like me or you. We've had to learn this stuff. Just
Yeah.
like hate's not natural, it's
Oh,
taught. Same
yes.
with animals. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like snakes because so and so doesn't like snakes, or because I seen it on TV. I seen this happen. Blah blah blah. You have to overcome your fears.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
but that comes back to the education part that me, you, and Shaman, Zemphius, and everybody that's brought it up. If you're not properly educated, you're gonna fear what you don't understand.
Well, there's, how do I say? There's the motive of this happened to make, let's say, the hate arise, but then you ask one layer deeper and be like, no, but why do you feel that need for that hatred though? There's what happened to make it
Right.
arise, but why do you feel the need for it still?
Yeah, I mean it's just one of those deals that it's one of those things, man. You can only do so much with it and everything else that if the people aren't willing to learn and take the time to understand what they have. I mean, I've got in-laws, they hate them just because they don't want to understand them. So,
Excuse me. That's exactly what I mean. Is you almost have to look at it and be like, do you really know why you don't like
right.
the field, or do you just not
And,
like it?
there's people that I've asked that question. Oh, you got those? I don't like them. Why? Oh, just cuz, and their answer is always just cuz I don't. They
Right.
can't give you they can't give you this a legitimate reason why. Or some of them be like, well, cause my grandma or my mom and dad said they had this experience as a kid where this snake chased me across the yard. Dude, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you right here now. I don't give a fuck unless it's a dog, a rabid dog, or a stray dog, or anything else like that. They're
Right.
more than likely gonna run away from you than come at you. The
Yes.
only way a snake's gonna bite you or do anything to you is if you fuck with it.
Mm,
They would rather any reptile would rather get away from you
mm,
than worry about fucking chasing you down the road. Because you always
right.
hear that, oh, that copperhead or water moccasin chased me. No, actually, it was trying to get away from you, you idiot. The only time I've ever seen anything attack anybody is when they've messed with it. It's never been
Mm.
one of those deals that, you walked in front of me, I'm gonna attack you. No, it's a defense mechanism. They're
Mm.
either gonna protect themselves because you won't leave them alone, or they'd rather just scurry off and get the hell away from you.
Well, for very instance, I one of the places I lived at, we had to remove nests upon nests. I mean, the whole property was almost infested with water moccasins.
Yeah, and
And
copperheads. I remember you telling me about this.
yes, the one of them damn near what led to my dog taking its last breaths. I mean, if they hadn't
It's
got bit, they would have still had years left.
right. Well, and like I told you on that situation, I mean, I get it. Dogs, dogs see something. Mine's dumbasses are the same way. It's like them fucking with cats or anything like that, or a skunk. I've had my dog where he's been sprayed by a skunk. He'll still chase the damn things. It's like, you
Yep.
dumbass. You know, it's part of in their mentality too. But at the same time, your situation with your dog, it's a defense mechanism. It's protecting you because it sensed a threat. And that's
Right,
what happens with a lot of the snake bites and shit like that
right.
within the dog communities. It's a they see it and you see it happen. Rattlesnake bites, copperhead bites. Some animals take to it. They can take to it a certain way. Some of them don't, and it just depends. But like with a rattlesnake and stuff, yes, you're gonna have that copperhead. Not so much, or a water moccasin, unless the animal had like, even including us, if you're allergic to bees, you don't want to get bit by a water moccasin or a copperhead because it's an allergic reaction that could kill you because their venom is like a bee sting.
Isn't that part of the whole anaphylactic reaction?
Yes. Yes, unfortunately. And I mean I've seen it in one of my idols because he built up such an allergic reaction to venom. Dingle Dinkelman, he was out of South Africa. He kept black mambas, green mambas, king cobras, death adders. He got bit by a black mamba, but because he had such allergic reaction from the dried venom, breathing it into his system, everything else, when he's cleaning their cages, he built up a allergic reaction to it, and anti venom didn't save him. It
Oh,
ended up
man.
actually taking his life.
See,
And he was another conservative, pushing for proper keeping in the hobby, everything else, and educating people to get over their fears of the animals and everything else. I mean, he kept reptiles, he kept crocs, um, but he was always educating people. And unfortunately, his passion for the hobby, it ended up catching him, man, because he built that allergic reaction up, and it can happen.
mm,
People don't realize keeping these venomous and stuff, cleaning the glass, that venom becomes a dried powder on your glass.
yeah.
So when you're cleaning it, and if you don't, over time, it eventually gets into your system where it causes where you're allergic to it and could cost you your life.
Well, I I think I've seen a case like that with the spitting cobras. Is somebody was doing, I don't know whether it was handling or training on one that was out of the cage, and they had a whole like smock shield up
Mm-hmm.
in front of them, so that whenever the thing would do its thing,
Oh
it
yeah.
didn't hit them, but it hit the smock.
But yeah, it's just one they guys that I watch got spitting covers. They wear those full plastic face shields, and I
Yep.
mean they've been covered, but they gotta hurry up and clean it before that stuff dries because venom turns into a powder, and
Mm,
it's such a fine powder. You think you got it cleaned up and everything else, and actually you're just like dust. You eventually breathe it into your system, and your body starts, it either gets immune to it or causes the opposite, where you have
mm.
allergic reactions to it.
Here's the thing: people are worried about it, of course, getting into your organs, right?
Yeah.
And to know that the very skin that we have on wrapping around our body, it's one of the biggest organs that we have.
Yep. Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean that's the thing is with the keeping. I mean, you can never stress it enough. It's the education. You have to be educated. You're not going to learn shit overnight. You don't learn nothing overnight. You don't learn to walk overnight. You don't learn to talk overnight. You don't learn, and that's just anything.
Well,
It's part of life.
I think I've heard some of the best people in this field say that, you know what, even with the years behind me that I have, I still could be my day any day.
Yep. Especially with the venomous keepers.
Yes.
Those guys, they're playing Russian roulette 24/7, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen I follow some of the best in the hobby, and they've come close to a couple of them's come close to losing their lives, and unfortunately, one of them did lose his life over it. But
Yeah.
it never stopped them. So it's just their it's true love for what they do, their passion.
And if you see not even deep enough of these people, just at first glance, the way they carry themselves and even their attitude, it exudes. I don't want to say hyperness because that's not the right word, but they are enthused about what the fuck they're doing. They are
Oh
right
yeah.
on top of what they're doing.
And one of the ones that is big like that, and everybody thinks he's an idiot. I mean, Chandler's Wildlife.
Yeah.
He is so upbeat, even though he did end up losing his finger from when he was over in Indonesia because he did get bit by an Indonesian cobra when he was
Oh.
over in the field. So he lost a finger, but he still shows the enthusiasm. Um,
Right.
Sometimes, in my opinion, it's kind of overkill the way he acts with it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, he's educating people. He's making it fun where you're actually learning, besides him
Right.
acting like a dumbass,
Right.
to an extent. So,
Well, see, that's what I mean. To me, there's they might look similar to the outside, but a very strong difference between really hyped up and not knowing what you're doing versus aware and on edge because you know exactly what you're doing with how dangerous what you're handling is.
oh yeah, because he's got some of the most deadliest venomous snakes in his collection in the world. He actually, in his collection, has all the top 10 deadliest venomous snakes in the world in his collection that he educates people with. He's got the top
Wow.
10, and they're all from Australia.
Oh, wow.
He's
See,
got he's got the brown snake, Colette snake, inland taipan, the West Coast inland taipan. I mean, he's got, like I said, he has the most venomous snakes, but he educates people because it's his passion for that.
see, yeah, you're working with something that mortality rate is damn near 100.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's still
Wow.
some of these snakes they've never been able to make an anti venom for
Yeah.
because they've tried and there's nothing that can do anything. I
Well,
mean, it's just one of those deals. And
mm,
some of these, as he calls it, the cocktails of these venoms,
mm,
um, they attack. Some of them attack every point of your body, your nervous system, your skin. There's
yeah.
some of them. As soon as it bites you, once it kicks in, your skin looks like it's melting off your hand, off your bones.
Yeah.
Um, neurological. It shuts your brain down, shuts your
Yup.
nervous system down. Um, and some of these snakes he's got has a toxin that does it all. It'll melt your skin, shut your brain down, shut your nervous system down, shut your heart down within a matter of minutes.
See, all I can say is some of the people like him working with stuff like this. I can only imagine what's going on with the gears turning up here on a daily basis.
Like you said, learning how to survive and handle it. But it's year, and he's not much older than you. I think he just
Well,
next year he turns 30, but he's been doing this stuff since
I
he was a kid. So I
I
mean,
in no way say that as an insult either. I
oh
I actually
no,
very
I
much
get it.
wonder.
Yeah. Some of them, you sit back and look. It's like, dude, has he even got any screws tightened up in his head for messing
Right,
with what he messes with? But
right.
but at the same time, I've learned a lot about these animals that I never knew that you could get from watching Discovery Channel because they don't really go in depth and everything else like he does, like Tyler Nolan does, like Tom Crutchfield, um, Brian Barchek. I mean, I could go on. Kevin McCurley. I mean, there's a list of them. Everything that they do is their love for the hobby, and the education is undeniable, man, and it just keeps going and going. But it's their passion and the venomous side of things. That's just a different game. That right there in the reptile hobby is not basically dick measuring contest, but it's just the like you said, what's going on up here for to make them decide besides the love of those animals, what makes them want to live on the edge daily.
Right.
So
Right. And well, like you were just saying about Tom Crutchfield, right? Uh, I'm not saying how long has the guy been doing what he does?
going on almost 40 years.
I was gonna say, I'm not saying the guy looks old, but the fact that he's got all whites speaks for his hobby. Speaks how long he's come in this hobby.
Oh yeah. Wes, on that one, they still have not decided on that purple ball line yet. Lori still has not released it. She's still
Oh,
leaving everybody hanging on that. But yeah, he's like I said, he's done his prison time. He's done this, and
yeah,
now he's on the educational side of it. Um, he's introduced the hobby to one of the rarest uh, vipers out there, the Mangsheng, which is found in the mountains of China. He's
yeah.
one of the originators that brought that Mangsheng and learned how to breed them and keep them in captivity. Gorgeous, gorgeous snake. No anti venom.
Yeah.
So, and those things get 10, 12 foot long. He's got a breeding pair right now that's almost 11. The male's 10 foot and the female's almost 12 foot that he keeps.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, he's introduced a lot of unique animals into our hobby over that time frame that he's been alive and in the hobby. What's up, Lazy? Oh, the green
Right.
tree pythons and the Amazon boas, man. Those West are gorgeous snakes.
They
There
are.
is people there is people that do handle those. Those style snakes are basically um my opinion display animals. They're awesome to look at. They're great for making a natural habitat for them to look at and watch because they're so gorgeous.
Are we
And
talking
they're
about the green tree viper?
no the pythons and the boas,
Oh, gotcha.
the ones that's got in the boa family. Their teeth are about as long as a gaboon viper's fang, but they got rows of
Yeah.
them because they, of course, live in the trees and stuff and catch birds and shit. So, um,
Beautiful animal.
and there's breeders here in the states, man, that are making them with blues, with pinks in them now. I mean, they're fucking gorgeous snakes. But I would never handle one just because of I'm afraid of the bite because I've seen where they've bit because those teeth are hook-like style. So to hold their prey, they get stuck in there. They'll break off in your hands and shit, and they're hard to get out. And I've seen videos where it's happened.
They got like two sets of them, don't they? One on the outside and one on the inside.
Yep. So they can hold birds when they
Yeah.
fly by. Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
and the thing is, those things eat like macaws and cockatoos in the Amazon and shit. So they're not. So they're and those are some big ass birds in the pet trade, but they eat that shit in the wild. So I mean, it's cool as hell. That they're gorgeous. The Amazon tree boa, those snakes are freaking amazing. So I mean, it's
Oh,
to see them. They're becoming popular in the trap page. They actually have now going back to your morph thing at the beginning of the show. They have
mm.
albinos in those now. Oh yeah,
Oh.
dude. Yep.
I
And
need to see what one of them looks like.
one of the guys I follow, actually has it now where one looks like a candy cane.
Oh.
He used to work for Kevin McCurley at Nerd. It's called Brassman, and he specializes in your Amazon and rainbow boas and stuff, and Amazon boas. And he's got one that's you got to look it up. Looks like a candy cane. It's blood red and white. They're freaking
Nice.
amazing. But yeah, it's just there's so many species out there that's not in the hobby or they're protected. They can't be in the hobby no more because people
Oh.
haven't been able to breed them or have tried to breed them and haven't had success to make them grow in the hobby. So it makes it harder. Like when you see a lot of these guys travel overseas and they find snakes that aren't in the hobby because they're no longer in the pet trade other than the black market, and you don't know how to set it up in the way their breeding patterns are to make it where it's available in the hobby. So,
Yeah.
and there's a guy that makes dwarf retics.
Oh.
His name is it's Reach Out Reptiles. He's learned the dwarf retics. They get maybe 10 foot, 11 foot now instead of your usual 22 foot, 23 foot long, and they're not as girthy as an actual regular retic.
Oh.
So I mean, they're getting it to where they're trying to make it, but they still get big. The upkeep's still there for and the feeding. You get into the big snakes, man. You got to have deep pockets for the rabbits, small pigs, shit like that. You know, it's just
Yeah.
to keep
Well,
them. I mean, the feed bill is insane.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Let's just say you missed some feeding schedules that it's, of course, an irresponsible thing to do. The thing's going to be looking at your dog.
oh yeah, the hognose snakes is actually right now one of the hottest snakes in the hobby, West. Sand boas is starting to become popular. But yeah, they're getting really big. But yeah, the hognose snakes, man, they've come a long way. And the
Ooh.
thing of it is, they're naturally found eastern and western hognoses in most of the places. Hey, what's up, Hoss? But
Awesome.
yeah, everybody, there's certain snakes that are getting like you said, Wes. Really heavy into the trade that they're becoming popular now. Um, the ball python game is so oversaturated right now, and I'll be honest, and this is my opinion. Anybody can take it how it is. There's so many ball python breeders now that it's hard to touch that market right now. I mean, people are damn near selling them for next to nothing, unless you get into the real big high ends with like always evolving Python, mutation creation, um, Canova, Brian's line when he's alive that they still work on. I mean, if you're not getting into like top tier, big dollar, we're talking double digit, triple digit genes where there's multiples in them and stuff. So, um, retics the same way, Wes. They're not nearly as they're popular, but a lot of people aren't keeping them. So sorry, my dog's being a dork. Um,
No worries,
so
brother.
so they're not keeping. They don't keep them as much because of what's up, Britt. Uh,
Great.
keep them because of the size, the area you got to keep them. That's the biggest issue when you get into big snakes, is the space you got to have for those big snakes.
Yeah.
Um, Retics are notorious. I've seen actually in the wild. One of the guys I follow. A lot of people say they're ground dwelling. This guy is actually proved in the wild. They are semi-arboreal snakes, which they will go into trees.
Huh.
He has found them in the trees. Um, it's called David's Feed. He goes over to Indonesia and everything else. So, well, you are a whale penis. But no, they. But yeah, he's found them where they were actually in trees. Not let alone only on the ground, but he's found them in the trees too. So when you do a setup for them, you kind of give them the branches where they can be also on up off the ground.
Mm, I've seen people do like the vertical
Yep.
terrariums, right?
Yep.
Uh, I've also seen people go full on Frankenstein and have a horizontal with a vertical on the end.
Actually, I have that set up that way for one of my ball pythons. It actually
Nice,
actually crawls and everything.
nice.
So I mean, and it's just one of those deals. But it's interesting what you can learn when you look, like you said, back to educating yourself.
Yeah.
Watching some of these people that actually go to the wild and find these animals in the wild in their actual natural habitat.
Mm.
Ball pythons. Dave Kaufman, Reptile Adventures that I follow, actually did a 2.5 hour movie on ball pythons. They actually hide in ant mounds and stuff in Africa.
Oh, wow.
Well, Wes,
That's
if you
cool.
need anything, let me know and I'll point you to the direction where you can get some really get into the proper people to get a hold of when you're ready to get back into it heavy, man. It don't just let me know what you want and I'll point you the direction, dude. But yeah, it's cool. He's actually went and found these animals in the wild and did stuff. So yeah, I bet you do. I'm sure you do on that one. You poor girl.
What up, Rick?
But yeah, I mean it's cool when you get to find YouTubers that do that stuff.
Yeah.
So um, he keeps ball pythons. Dave keeps what bull snakes, which are and gopher snakes, which are common where he lives in Minnesota and goes in Wisconsin and stuff.
Mm.
So I mean it's pretty cool. But he also goes and finds these things in the wild. So I mean it's neat.
Okay. Yeah. I I miss that. There was a time where I was a little bit out and about like that until once again I learned when I was down in North Carolina way that it wasn't so much of a good idea going out in the woods with the stuff that was crawling around down there.
My thing is when you do stuff like that after being educated, make sure you got a good snake hook with you, and always wear boots.
Yeah.
I know some of these idiots go out in their tennis shoes, shit like that, but they always come prepared with snake boots, the hand gripplers they got for snakes and stuff. So I
Oh,
mean, they're prepared.
yeah. I had my close call with that. I was rubbing it around down there and then in the leafage and stuff, and I heard something actually scrickering through the leaves, and I looked and I saw the tail of it. But once again, I'm pretty sure it was one of the moccasins.
Well, they're down there in North Carolina. Copperheads are big. They are very big. Copperheads actually smell like cucumbers,
Yep.
but they will also too. They're like rattlesnakes. If they're in leaves, most of the time they'll take their tail and rustle the leaves, and you'll hear the rustling. But most of the time, you don't normally see them unless you flip over tin or some type of debris, or it actually happens to stumble into.
Right.
Bearded dragons, West, they're still kind of big. Um, it's kind of a hit and miss with them as much as it used to be. They're not nearly as popular as like the ball python game right now. There's still a market for it and stuff, and all the different morphs of those. But yeah, it's still there, but it's not as big as it used to be. Um, right now, it's just the everything's kind of take a slowed down, not
Yeah.
turned for the worse. It just slowed down. COVID slowed down a lot of stuff. Um,
Oh, indeed.
let
Years
alone the
later.
let alone the prices on things and everything. But it's just one of those deals. It's hit and miss. So,
For sure.
but you got anything else you want to add, Johnny? Or
Uh, I'm I covered A lot, yeah.
All righty, buddy. Well, I'm going to wrap up our show for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, everybody in the chats, for chatting it up with us and everything else and asking your questions. Have a good time. Tomorrow night is movie night with Michael and friends. Michael he'll be on tomorrow night. Saturday night is the Nonsensical Nonsense. It's the main stable of our channel here on the Nonsensical Network. We have an open panel challenge where you can come up on the panel and hang out with everybody, have a good time. You can come on and pick on Brittany and everything else and stuff, and all of us. I'm gonna try to make it up on the panel this Saturday, so we always have a good time on the panel. So have a good night, Britt. Sunday is Unnecessary Roughness with Glick and Rick. They talk all things football and sports. We're back here Monday night. I've actually got a guest. Gentleman's in the chats right now, Wester Rye. He's going to be coming on Monday night for talking rough trucks and stuff with us. So he'll be up here with me and Johnny Monday night. Tuesday night's Glick's House of Music. You guys missed the show this past Tuesday with Rock Lee on there, man. Go back and check out the show. It was a great night and everything else with Rock Lee.
It was.
The actual true host of the Nonsensical Network. Give a shout out to Rock Lee, man. We love you, brother. Keep kicking ass. Looking forward to your release here on the network when it comes out this month.
Love your music, and I got to listen to some of it.
And then Wednesday night, Britt and Michael is with you for your Ha Ha Hump Days. It's a comedy night with those two. It's usually a good fun time watching Britt and Mike cut it up and everything else with comedy. And then we're back here Thursday night with me and Johnny on Cold Blooded Conversations. You guys all have a good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you. Bye. See you, Johnny.
Peace and love, brother. Good to see you.